Have a relax.
Is the most precious thing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given anybody. That's the most precious thing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to anybody. And that's the reason, my dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made the richest person on this world his worst enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given the biggest kingdom of this earth to his worst enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made the strongest people of this earth is made his worst enemy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has never given iman to anybody who he does not like. So my dear brothers, we are so precious that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen me and you to sit in this majlis with Iman. Everything is valued in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in relation to the Iman. A person sitting here, listening to the same talk, a person
Please go a little bit forward, give some space to the other brother.
but he's sitting in the same majlis without Iman, he will not have that benefit that a person who has Iman. Even a person without Iman, seeing Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam at the best place on this earth, Khane Kaaba, and listening to the same talk, same bayan, same wa'az that Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is giving, but he doesn't have Iman in his heart. My dear brothers and sisters, that is not only that he's not getting benefit, but he's getting away and away from this life of success. So my dear brothers and sisters, first of all, we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this Iman. And my dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us this majlis of the Iman. This majlis of Iman is very, very, very much like the Allah. Everybody who is sitting in this majlis, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is taking his name, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is mentioning him in the majlis of Malaika at the moment as we are sitting here. How fortunate we are. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator of each and everything, is taking my name and your name in the majlis. Why? Because we are sitting in the majlis of Iman. And my dear brothers and sisters, not only this place is glittering like the stars glitter for the people of the earth. And the Malaiks, they are covering this gathering and calling the other Malaiks to come, look here, this is the Maqsood, this is the place where what you are looking for, here you are getting it through. So my dear brothers and sisters, the Malaik are covering us from here till there, they are calling the other Malaiks. Why? Because we are sitting in the majlis of the Iman. And my dear brothers and sisters, in the end of this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has the glad tidings that all our sins will be forgiven, all who are sitting in this service. So my dear brothers and sisters, we are very, very fortunate. And the more we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah has promised that He will increase that ni'mat more and more. So my dear brothers and sisters, this Iman which Allah has given is so much like that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose His best creation, and among them the best people, the prophets were the best people who had been sent toward the humanity to make an effort of the Iman. All the prophets from Adam alayhi salam till Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they were the most beloved creation among the humanity, among the humans. And their job was to make an effort of the Iman. None of the prophets came to do any other effort other than the effort of the human. All of the Prophet came to introduce the human to this Iman, to the kalma of Iman, that is La ilaha illallah. All the Prophets came to work on the heart of the human with this kalma, La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah, La ilaha illallah, Ibrahim Khalilullah. La ilaha illallah, Ismail Zabiullah. La ilaha illallah, Musa Kalimullah. La ilaha illallah. And my dear brothers, prophets have been sent at the time when the humans and the humanity was in such a condition that they are in a very, very pitiable condition. In the condition of loss of hope. There was no hope how this condition would be corrected. But none of the prophets, they came and tried to solve their problem. All the prophets came and made an effort on the hearts of the people with this kalma, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cleared all their problems. None of the prophets came that first we will solve this problem, like the nation of Shuaib alayhi salam, the nation of Musa alayhi salam. All of them were involved in such sins at that time that Allah has to send the prophet, but none of the prophets came to first of all sort out the problem, and then I will work on the effort on the heart. No, my dear brothers. All the prophets, they came and made an effort on the qalb, on the heart of the humans with this kalma, la ilaha illallah. Allah is Khaliq, Allah is Malik, Allah is the creator of each and everything. Allah is the one who has created each and everything. Whatever is happening by the wish and will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever has happened by the wish and will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever is going to happen with the wish and will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything is in full control of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our conditions that are good, our conditions that are bad, our illness is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Our health is in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Problems in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Solutions in the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the prophets came to make an effort to get the ta'arruf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through this kalma, la ilaha illallah. And the condition of the humanity went down because they lost the connection with their Khaliq. It is an utmost necessity of every human to recognize his Khaliq. More than a child needs to recognize his mother, each and every person needs to recognize who is his Khaliq, his ta'arruf of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my dear brothers and elders, with the effort of this kalma to get the ta'alluq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how he gets connected with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And my dear brothers and elders, Sahaba Karam, that they made such an effort that they got the ma'iyyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All the time they had the help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with them. They knew how and when to ask and get their problem of this world and the hereafter solved. That's what, my dear brothers and elders, had been the effort of the Anbiya Karam, for which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the best people to come and make an effort. How fortunate we are that because we are the ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this great effort of kalma. One is the kalma and the other is the effort of the kalma. None of the previous ummati have been given this effort of the kalma. When Musa alayhi salam asked for the help, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first gave nabuwat to Harun alayhi salam, and then he was allowed to do the effort of the kalma. My dear brothers and elders, how fortunate we are that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the effort of this kalma. For that, He chose the best among all the prophets, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and made us, my dear brothers and elders, the ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This itself is such a big place that Allah has given to us, such a big place that Allah has given to us. We cannot thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has mentioned this ummah as khair ummah. This is a very, very, very privileged status that Allah has called me and you khair ummah. What is khair ummah? Who is khair ummah? Khair ummah is the one, my dear brothers and elders, that unless this khair ummah has entered into the Jannah, the rest of the ummah will not be allowed to enter into the Jannah. This khair ummah would be the one who would be witness of the prophets who have come before. My dear brothers and elders, we need to recognize our position, our status, how fortunate we are, and what responsibility we have as an ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Unfortunately, today we recognize all the responsibility as a father, as a doctor, as a shopkeeper, as a taxi driver. If I'm working in army, I know what is my responsibility in an army. But what is my responsibility being the ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam? We need to recognize that. And for that, my dear brothers and elders, the lives of Sahaba is in front of us. They are the people who fulfill the requirements of learning from the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And they did to such an extent that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepted their deed and gave them the glad tidings in this world, radiyallahu ta'ala. So my dear brothers and elders, the purpose of this gathering, the purpose of this Ijtema, the purpose of all this effort is to learn that effort and bring that effort in our life. That won't be enough. We have to not only learn it, bring it into the life, but being the Ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, we have to convey this effort and this life to each and every human. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept success only and only on the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Anything which will be matching the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would be accepted in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And anything which is not matching the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is leading us to hell and unsuccessful in this world and the hereafter. So my dear brothers and elders, the purpose of all this effort from the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam till now, what is being done is, my dear brothers and elders, to make us realize what is our responsibility being the ummati of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Wherever we are living in Europe, we are living in Asia, we are living in Africa, we have a responsibility that Allah has given to us, and that what we need to realize, we need to understand. Unfortunately, since this ummah has left this effort of Iman, it got disgraced in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and disgraced in the eyes of Muhammad. Until, my dear brothers and elders, this ummah was doing this effort, the worst people on the earth, the people of Hijaz at that time were supposed to be the worst people. Qaisar and Kisra, the superpower, and those powers who were very highly cultured nations, they did not even like to have these people with them. But my dear brothers and elders, when they got this effort of this kalma, my dear brothers and elders, they became the most liked people in the universe, so much so that they are the guiding star. If anybody will follow any of the Sahabi, he will be successful forever and ever and ever, not only in this world, but forever and ever and ever. My dear brothers and elders, we have been given this responsibility to learn this effort. Learn this effort. By saying the kalma, we get iman. That one iman that is mawjood and one iman that is matlub. Iman, la ilaha illallah. We know that we have this iman. But is it matlub iman that will save me from all the sins, to fulfill all the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to get the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam in my life? That is the effort, my dear brothers, we have to do. A person who has an account in a bank means nothing. He has opened an account, but what is the balance? Is the balance enough to buy tomato? Is the balance enough to buy a car? Is the balance enough to buy a house? The same way, my dear brothers and elders, what is the level of my iman? Is it enough that I can fulfill the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Is it enough that it is saving me from the ma'asiyah, from the things by which I get Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala happy? My dear brothers and elders, this is the struggle of each and every human that he has to do till his last breath. How can I lead my day? How can I lead my hour in such a way that I am pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And how am I saved from the deeds by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala just helped me? This was the maqsood of Sahaba. Everything that they were doing was to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everything. That is the purpose, my dear brothers and sisters. That is the whole sole purpose of all this effort. And my dear brothers and elders, these are not words, La ilaha illallah. There is such an effort that the people understood it. Even the kuffar, they knew that we are saying this kalma, La ilaha illallah. Now I have to leave my manchahi. I have to leave the life that I like. I have to leave this life what Allah likes. So my dear brothers and sisters, at the time in Mina, when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taking the bait from the people of Yasrab, that was called Yasrab at that time, and the tribes of the Aus and Khazraj, they were there, and the Jews of Medina, they used to taunt on them to say that, look, we with our knowledge, with our ilm, we know about the science of Nabi Akhir Zaman, and they knew, the Jews, they knew that we will acquire his teachings, and we will get the teachings, and we will get the strength, and we will kick you out of this Yasrab. Because the people of Yasrab, they were idolaters. And they were Ahli Kitab, and they have the ilm, they have the knowledge. So they used to think that how are we going to recognize the last prophet? And these Jews, when they will recognize, they will kick us out of this place. And they were very, very fierce warriors, awesome figures. So when if they were there, they used to come to do the Hajj before the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. As usual, they came to do the Hajj, and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was giving this dawah. And when they heard the love, this kalima and this dawah, they looked at each other, and just with the eye contact, and just to say that, oh, he's the same person that the Jews had been mentioning. Why not? We should get before the Jews they get it. So they did the bad in the hands of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It is different riwayat. It is said Asad bin Zurara radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu was the first person to do the bad. So when they have done the bad, so one of the Sahabi said, do you know what you are doing this bad for? You are making everybody your enemy. That means you have to fight with everybody. You have to change your life. You have to change each and everything. My dear brothers and sisters, they understood it. The moment they have said this kalma, they got this teaching, they got the light of hidayat in their heart, that they realize that what is the effort of the kalma, what is the life of the kalma. And then he said, Abbas was passing, he has not said kalma that time. He said, you are taking my nephew. Look, though the people of this place have not accepted his teaching, but he has a big respect in Makkah. Are you going to look after him? Asad bin Zurara didn't know who is this person. He looked at Rasulullah. He had just said kalma. And you know how kalma brings ikhlaq, how kalma brings the adab. He has just said this kalma. Ya Rasulullah, if you allow, can I answer this person? What he is saying? So what did he say? We are going to look after you more than we look after our children, more than we look after our wives. Ya Rasulullah, you know that people, if we don't want the people, we are such a warrior that they cannot take one single date from us. Ya Rasulullah, you know how difficult it is to accept somebody from outside as a chief. Ya Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, We give this back that we will look after you more than our family. We will fight for you. Our enemy will be your enemy. Our enemy will be your enemy. And your friend will be our friend. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the haqq of the kalma. That when we have said this kalma, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, we have to get that life in our life. And who will get this life? Who will recognize or who will realize that he doesn't have? Today, unfortunately, we all are beguiled with this, and we all think that we are, alhamdulillah, we are okay. We are fine. I know this. I have this. That is the difference between us and Sahaba. Sahaba karam, after doing each and everything, giving everything, they had this fear that I don't have this kalma, I don't have the life of the life of kalma in my life. They were afraid of this. After getting all the glad tidings, Abu Bakr Siddiq Raziyallahu Ta'ala anhu, when he heard Hazrat Hazrat say that I have become munafiq, he didn't say to him, Ya Rasulullah, what's wrong with you? He said, oh, he also got the same figure. Oh, I also have the same problem. Let's go to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. And he used to say, I wish I could be an animal that I would not be reckoned on the day of judgment. After giving each and everything. The person who would be called by each and every gate of the Jannah, he is afraid of his iman. And today, my dear brothers and sisters, we are satisfied with our iman. That is the difference. Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, after getting the glad tidings, if there would have been a prophet after me, it would be Umar. At the time of the death, he is telling his son to put my face on the floor, so that Allah has mercy. Oh Allah, if you don't forgive Umar, what is going to happen to Umar? So my dear brothers and sisters, the purpose of this effort, the purpose of this work is to get that zeal inside, that how can I enlighten my life with the life of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the way the Sahaba, they got the life of Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in their life, so much so that the worst people became the best people. They had such a connection with Allah Subhanahu Wa Ta'ala that when they were in the court of the Caesar, they were laughing on him. You have come to conquer us with this donkey, with this sword? Are you going to conquer us with this? You have this dream in your mind? What did he say? He said, you have seen this sword, but you have not seen the power behind this sword. What did he mean? The power behind this sword is the power of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. My dear brothers and sisters, they have learned the life, how to live the life of the Khalifa. Khalifatullah. Who is the Khalifa of Allah? My dear brothers and sisters, it is said the Khalifa. Khilafat is not a government. Khalifa is not that he is the chief of the government. Khalifa is the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him the power to have tasarruf, that he can use the arba'i anasir of this universe. This universe is created by four things. Khalifa will have the direct power to use those things: water, air, sand, and my dear brothers and sisters, fire. They cannot do anything without the order of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But they know how to benefit from them, how to order them, how to utilize them. Because they were leading the life of a Khalifa. Tamim Dari Razillahu Ta'ala anhu, at the time of Umar Razillahu Ta'ala anhu, when there was a big fire, he told him to go and extinguish this fire. And Tamim Dari Razillahu Ta'ala anhu, how can he do the Amir al-Mu'minin? How can he do it? And what is saying? You go and do it. He knew that he is the Khalifa of Allah. And what did he do? Bismillah Allahu Akbar, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, Bismillah Allahu Akbar. The fire where he came from, he kept the fire back at the same place. Umar Razillahu Ta'ala said, the people who have seen this scene and the people who have not seen this scene, their iman cannot be equal. My dear brothers and sisters, many stories like that. in the life of Sahaba. They were not prophets. They were Sahaba. At the time of Umar Radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, when a person came, I'm not sure he was Sahabi or a Tabi, and he was narrating him that at a place, one of the kings or one of the rulers, they put a person into the fire couldn't burn him. Umar Radhiyallahu came and grabbed him from his hair. Tell me truth, are you not the same person? Yeah, yes, I'm the same person. And then what did he say? Thank you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I saw all the mu'ajizat, but I had not seen this mu'ajizat of Ibrahim alayhi salam in this ummah. Allah has shown me. My dear brothers and sisters, these are not stories, these are the facts that this earth has seen, this sky has seen. Why? Because they had the life of Rasulullah. They have learned how to get that in their life, and my dear brothers and sisters, they have fulfilled the haqq of this kalima. La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Ala Hazrat Rizillahu ta'ala, they cross the water as if they are walking on a road. Today, if you say such things, it's very difficult for me to believe it. But my dear brothers and sisters, these are the places they have seen it. My dear brothers and sisters, the purpose of all this effort is that we wake up and realize what way Allah wants us to lead. And the whole of the humanity, unfortunately, who don't have this kalima in their life, they are waiting for that life. If we have that life in our life, everybody like, I want to be like him. The Sahaba, when they used to go at the places where they had never been before, out of the Hijaz, the people, by looking at their deeds, by looking at their ma'amalat, by looking at the faces, they would say, this face cannot be the face of a person of a life. Today, we can see, my dear brothers and sisters, what way we look the same. We have the same two eyes, we have the same two hands, same brain. My dear brothers and sisters, but our master, our figure have changed. So we have no value today in the eyes of Khaliq and Rafiq. So my dear brothers and sisters, that's the purpose of this effort, Dawah to Tabligh, is to learn that effort. Bring that effort and to convey each and every human, so that not only that I am saved from the fire of Jahannam, not only that I become successful, each and every person will become successful in this world and the hereafter. And there is no doubt that Allah has kept success only and only. Our domestic problem will be solved by this kalima. The problem of our illness will be solved by this kalima. My wife's problem will be solved by this kalima. My business problem will be solved by this kalima. The problem of the government will be solved by this kalima. The problem of awam, of ordinary people will be solved by this kalima. But my dear brothers and sisters, we have to learn this effort the way the Sahaba has learned, not the way that I think is the right way. For that, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to do it in the way that Sahaba has done, and Allah may give the best of Ajr to our Akabri, that they have done this and they have shown it in this age and era, that how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala changes the life of nations, how the people, they have changed their life. How those people who did not have the kalima in their life, when they called this kalima, how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used them for serving the whole of the humanity, saving them from the fire of Jahannam. My dear brothers and sisters, sitting in this majlis, first of all we should do tawbah to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, I did not realize this duty as my duty. Oh Allah, I do tawbah on that. Everybody will do that. everybody can do that. Tawbah is, my dear brothers and sisters, very much liked by Allah. We don't have to do anything for that. From the depth of the heart. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows our depth of the heart. How we are making the tawbah. Oh Allah, I realize and I regret that I have not learned this work. I have not done this work. Oh Allah, I do the tawbah, accept my tawbah. Oh Allah, now show me how can I learn this thing. I am the busiest person, I am the laziest person, I am the richest person, I have a very big family, I don't have a family, I have a big business, I don't have a business. Everybody can do this work. And this is mandatory for each and every person to learn this work more than eating and drinking, my dear brothers. If we don't eat and drink, what's going to happen? We can die. But if we go without this kalma, what's going to happen? Our misery will start. And my dear brothers, this is my responsibility, your responsibility, to make each ourselves realize when we are busy in the dunya, who's going to come and tell us? It's my responsibility, your responsibility. That's why they say that the Tazkara of Iman benefits people of Iman, not the people without Iman. We need it. Unfortunately, if you come and say, oh, I know it. Knowing is not. Nothing. The Jews, Juhor, they recognize Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam more than we recognize our children. And they had the knowledge when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was doing the hijrah, and when he was about to enter the Quba, he was tired. Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu ta'ala anhu, the way that he has loved Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam cannot be explained in words. And he realized that he is tired. So he told people who were coming, they didn't know who is Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, who is Abu Bakr Siddiq. They were coming to shake hands to see Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and he was shaking hands with them so that he can have some rest. And he put a piece of cloth so that he is in the shadow of that to save him from the sun. So the people of Quba, they were watching from there, and a Jew was telling him, the person who is in front is not the Prophet. The person who is lying behind, he is the Prophet. He can make out by his ilm that who the Prophet is, but my dear brothers and sisters, he did not have that iman, the nur inside the heart, to get the benefit of it. So ilm without iman, my dear brothers and sisters, today unfortunately we think if we know, we'll be able to work on it. No, my dear brothers and sisters, first of all we have to get iman. And we have to make iman to that level that is matlub in the eyes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then, my dear brothers and sisters, everything is going to benefit. This ilm is going to benefit. This akhlaq is going to benefit. A person without iman cannot have akhlaq. A person without iman cannot have akhlaq. Iman is the most biggest necessity of each and every person, each and every human, each and every person who is breathing on this earth. My dear brothers and sisters, we have to learn the iman, and we have to get this iman. Each and every who are our ayal, our children, our family, our friends, this is our responsibility. That's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has called me and you Khairi Ummah. If all of us here start fulfilling all the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then, even then, we will not be fulfilling all the rights of kalma. Not only that, we have to follow each and every commandment of Allah on the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but then being an ummati, being a Khairi Ummah, we have to convey this message to each and every person. And my dear brothers, we have this experience living in Europe. We know how thirsty the whole of these people. They don't know how to treat their parents. The children, they don't know how to treat their parents. The parents, they don't know how to treat their children. They don't know how to treat their neighbors. They don't know how to treat their friends. They don't know how to treat their enemies. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, my dear brothers and sisters, has such a life that he has shown us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has shown us each and every tariqah. And my dear brothers and sisters, when they come to know, they realize what big loss they have been. So my dear brothers and sisters, not only that by not making an effort in conveying it, that we are not fulfilling the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are doing zulm. We are using all the utilities of Ireland, but we are not conveying them. We were in Bangladesh once, and there we met few Chinese Jamaat. They convert Chinese. Alhamdulillah, they became Muslim, they became alim, and they were spending 1 year in Bangladesh. We were there, and one of the person he came, an alim, Chinese alim, he said that, look, brothers, I have a little request. Wherever I have gone in Bangladesh, in each and every corner of it, I have seen everything made in China. Whatever we have conveyed it to you so that you can make the benefit of it. A lock made in China, car made in China, a needle made in China. My dear brothers, what he was saying, very, very like, such a pain. You have to see Iman. You have to bring this Iman to each and every corner. You have not brought it to us. My dear brothers and sisters, this is our responsibility. If we are father, if we are a doctor, if we are a businessman, if we are an alim, if we have nothing, this is our responsibility, not only to follow the tariqah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, fulfill the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but my dear brothers and sisters, we have to convey this. For that, alhamdulillah, if we have done this tawbah, Haji Abdul Wahab Sahab always used to get hold of the majlis to do the tawbah. That, oh Allah, I do tawbah, that I have not considered this work as my work. I considered everything as my work. And he used to give example, a farmer will get up at 4 o'clock to work on the farm and on his land, but he will not wake up to fulfill the commandment of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person working in the bazaar knows what is responsibility, but he doesn't know the responsibility as an ummati of Rasulullah. So first of all, we need tawbah, and then, my dear brothers and sisters, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Haji Sahib used to say that, ask Allah, oh Allah, show me the path and accept me for this path. Only thing he used to say, if you get yourself accepted, Allah will show you the path. Allah will make the path easy for you. Today, we don't have the desire in the depth of the heart to do this work. That's why Allah is not opening this to us. We have the desire to be a bigger businessman and the desire to be better, whatever, professional, whatever. So Allah is opening up that to us. But if we have the desire to have this life, Allah is surely going to, Allah is promised. Allah has promised for the person who is doing this effort. He has no promise for the person for whom the effort is being done. But today, if I have in the depth of the heart this dunya, oh Allah, today what we are afraid, that if I do this effort, I will lose my dunya, na'uzubillah. How I am going to go for 40 days? How am I going to go for 4 months? Who is going to do this work? Who is going to look my family? Na'uzubillah, as we are the ilah of our business, of our family. And today, if Malikul Maut comes and take away, not a single time my dear son, my dear daughter will be hungry. When the moment it is time of the food, they will eat it. After burying me in the grave, they will eat it. Even before that, if my body is lying in the cold storage for 2 days, do you think they are not going to eat? Are they going to be hungry? my dear brothers and elders, this is serious. So, my dear brothers and elders, it's a little request, that once in this majlis that we are sitting here for a day or two, we get ourselves accepted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Very easy, very easy. Just cry, just a little. A tear comes out, oh Allah, I want to do this. I don't know how to do this. I don't have learned this. Make this easy for me. Oh Allah, accept me. Allah will accept. Allah will take work from him, being the king. Allah will take work from him, being a doctor. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take work from him, being a sick person in the hospital. Allah will take work from him, being the healthiest person on the road. But my dear brothers, Allah has not given this work to a person who does not have talab. First of all, we have to do tawbah. And the second thing, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to have this talab. We have to keep on asking that, oh Allah, I have not considered this as a sin, that I have not done this work. Oh Allah, accept me for this sin. Everybody will do that, inshallah. For that, whatever is in our hand, if we do that, whatever in the hand of Allah, He will do that. What is in the hand of Allah? Everything. Hazrat, one of the teachers of Imam Bukhari, rahmatullah alayhi, Abdullah bin Mubarak, rahmatullah alayhi, he used to have 1 year in, this is just a hikayah, in the path of Allah, and 1 year he should be doing the learning, the teaching. He had a go, the ironsmith was his neighbor. At the night, Abdullah bin Mubarak used to get up and he used to pray, and he used to come tired. And used to see Abdullah bin Mubarak praying at night, crying in front of Allah, oh Allah, and he used to say, oh Allah, I'm so tired. I cannot do this. Oh Allah, forgive me for this. Just this he used to say at night after seeing Abdullah Mubarak doing this amal, oh Allah, forgive me, I have not been able to do this. So he died. When he died, somebody saw Abdullah Mubarak in his dream and said, how were you treated? He said, oh Allah treated me more than what I expected, but I wish I could have got the same what my blacksmith never had got it. So that man was very surprised, Abdullah bin Mubarak and that blacksmith. He went, asked his wife, what was his deed? What was his deed? He was a blacksmith, he used to work there. No, tell me what he used to do that I have seen this. So she said, when it was the time of the azan, she told us that she used to cry at night to say, oh Allah, you have not given me enough energy left. I'm so tired that I can do the same ibadat as Abdullah bin Mubarak is doing at night and in the daytime. When he used to work, and if the iron was very hot, and if it's the time of the azan, he will hold the hammer in the air. My Allah has called him. And he put the hammer down. And then after that, he did not do anything except for the salah. So whatever was in his vicinity, whatever is his power, he was doing it. And whatever he could not do, he was crying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him more than what he anticipated. So my dear brothers and sisters, our Allah is so merciful, so gracious. If we ask, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will never leave us. But the problem is our own heart, our myself. In this majlis, such Mubarak majlis, as we have done tawbah. Today is the last day, tomorrow will be some amal happening. So this time we should make it precious by constantly having connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Oh Allah, accept me and put all our problems. My wife is not letting me go. My children are sick. My job, I don't have holiday. I don't have enough sustenance. I have these things. Oh Allah, take me out of these. Have the solution to it. Who have the solution to all these problems? Allah. So my dear brothers and elders, we keep on asking in this atmosphere, in this mahol, Allah will show us that how we can do this work of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Everybody will try that. For that, my dear brothers and Sahaba Karam, they did not used to think like us in a miser way, 4 months, 40 days, 3 days, 10 days. This is because of our weakness. So our Sahaba had the tartib of full life, half life, and the weakest were 1/3 of the life. That is 4 months every year. That was their tartib. Half night in ibadat, half night for work. They have divided the day for the work of deen and to look after. Unfortunately, we are very so far away from the life of Sahaba that we think that we are very busy. Sahaba were much more busier than us. But my dear brothers, that they have got the light, the hidayat, nur of hidayat, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took them out from their busy schedule. So my dear brothers and sisters, today also we make intention and we make our tartib. Everything, deen is tartib, deen is adab. Tartib, what is the tartib? How can I go out? We have to sit down, do mashwara about it. Counsel how to do it. And when we have decided, Allah will make it easy. Everybody will try that. So who is ready for that? Everybody ready for that, inshallah? So inshallah ta'ala, there will be more. After this there will be, inshallah, dinner, lunch. And then after that there will be more amal happening. After Asr also, after Maghrib also. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala about this and make niyat and make that the Tashkil brothers are there. We can come and discuss with them. And our elders are here. We are so fortunate. The elders